The convention hall will come to order. We are now holding the 4th General Session of the 88th Oregon FFA State Convention.
There's no running.
Madam Vice President, are all officers at their stations?
I shall call the roll of officers, determine if they're at their stations, and report back to you, Mr. President. The Sentinel!
In by the door.
Your duty's there?
Through this door, past many friends of the FFA. It is my duty to see that the door is open to our friends at all times, and that they are welcome. I care for the meeting room and paraphernalia. I strive to keep the room comfortable and assist the President in maintaining order.
The reporter!
The reporter is stationed by the flag.
Why by the flag?
As the flag covers the United States of America, so I strive to inform the people in order that every man, woman, and child may know that the FFA is a national organization that reaches from the state of Alaska to Puerto Rico and from the state of Maine to Hawaii.
The treasurer!
Stationed at the emblem of Washington.
Your duty's there?
I keep a record of receipts and disbursements, just as Washington kept his farm accounts, carefully and accurately. I encourage thrift among the members and strive to build up our financial standing through savings and investments. George Washington was better able to serve his country because he was financially independent.
The secretary!
Stationed by the ear of corn.
Your duty's there?
I keep an accurate record of all meetings and correspond with other secretaries wherever corn is grown and FFA members meet.
Oregon FFA, it is my honor to present to you, after 35 years of service at Ontario High School, our 4th session advisor, Mr. Les Liniger.
Here by the owl.
Why stationed by the owl?
The owl is a time-honored emblem of knowledge and wisdom. Being older than the rest of you, I'm asked to advise you from time to time as the need arises. I hope that my advice will always be based on true knowledge and right wisdom. Madam Vice President, why do you keep a plow at your station?
The plow is a symbol of labor and tillage of the soil. Without labor, neither knowledge nor wisdom can accomplish much. My duties require me to assist at all times in directing the work of our organization. I preside over meetings in the absence of our president, whose place is beneath the rising sun.
Why is the president so stationed?
The rising sun is a token of a new era in agriculture. If we will follow the leadership of our president, we shall be led out of the darkness of selfishness and into the glorious sunlight of brotherhood and cooperation. Mr. President, all officers are at their stations.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. The Secretary will call the roll of members.
I am pleased to announce that at this, the 4th session of the 88th Oregon FFA State Convention, there are 2,115 members and guests present, Mr. President.
Thank you. FFA members, why are we here? To practice brotherhood, honor agricultural opportunities and responsibilities, and develop those qualities of leadership which an FFA member should possess. May we accomplish our purposes. I now declare this, the 4th General Session of the 88th Oregon FFA State Convention, duly open for the transaction of business or attention to any matters which may properly be presented. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this 4th General Session. We are halfway there in our journey, and there's no one better to lead us in this expedition than our curly-haired session chair. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome your State Vice President, Addie Howell.
We've all been there, standing in our elementary school music class, Sunday school, or just dancing around the house, singing our favorite songs at the top of our lungs. For me, one of my favorite songs was This Little Light of Mine. I know you all know this one, so help me out right now. Flash back to elementary school and sing it with me. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. While this may be a children's song, it has a really powerful message. We were all born with a spark inside of us. And as we've grown, so has that light. One light, our light, can change the world. One of my favorite quotes is by Marianne Williamson. It goes like this: our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that frightens us most. We ask ourselves, who am I to be gorgeous, talented, brilliant, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? Your playing small does not serve the world. We were meant to shine as children do. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give others permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fears, our presence automatically liberates others. So, who are you really cheating when you decide to keep your light hidden from the world? We all have a light deep down inside of us, but sometimes the fears in the back of our heads threaten to put that light out. But what do those little voices know? It's our turn to shut them out from our lives and believe in our own light. This session, we will hear members shining their light right here on this stage in the Sophomore Public Speaking, Agriscience Fair, and Ag Literacy Awards. We will recognize our wonderful advisors and our State Alumni Council. We will hear from our very own State Secretary, Mr. Joe Matteo, as he delivers his retiring address entitled, Take a Stand. It would be impossible for us to shine our light here on this stage without our session sponsors, Ag West, Goshi Farms, and Wilco. Oregon FFA, we have to let our lights blaze a path for others to follow. Shine your light. Don't let self-doubt put it out. Oregon FFA, let your light shine and illuminate. Without the men and women who are coming up on stage, it would be nearly impossible for us to shine our own lights. The State Alumni Council helps connect supporters across the state of Oregon and share FFA's light right here in Oregon. Some of them have worn the blue jacket and some of them have not, but they all share a fiery passion for our organization's success. Let's give the State Alumni Council a huge round of applause. It is my honor to introduce to you our State Alumni Council. President Rob Schmittig. President-elect Swede Salo. Past President Shauna McReynolds. Treasurer Christy Hartzell. Secretary Debbie Price. Reporter Lauren Luke. Regional Vice President Tom Rutledge. Regional Vice President Eric Karn. Regional Vice President Lacey Moore. Regional Vice President Miles Ralston. Regional Vice President Heidi Paulus. Regional Vice President Steve Story. FFA Advisor Nicole Eskelson. FFA Foundation Representative Kevin White. FFA Association Representative Ms. Lee Lech. Past State Officer Jessica Rowland. Immediate past State Officer Brecklin Milton. Oregon State University Collegiate Representative Danielle Bull. Thank you so much for all that you do within our organization. We hope that you have a successful year sharing the FFA story, and we look forward to working with you. Oregon FFA, help me give the State Alumni Council, one more huge round of applause. Addie Rose, don't play in the fire. But Mom, I just wanted to make a sparkler. Honey, if you aren't careful, you're gonna catch the entire forest on fire. This was a usual lecture during our family camping trips. But little did I know that forest fire management would become such a hot topic here in Oregon. The members in this next event know all about hot topics. They researched and wrote a 4 to 6 minute speech on the topic of their choice. This career development event was sponsored by Harvest Capital Company. Help me in thanking them with a huge round of applause. We will now have the privilege to hear a piece of each of the speeches presented by our top 7 individuals. Each student will introduce themselves, where they're from, and say 30 seconds of their speech. Please enjoy while we listen to the state sophomore public speakers shine their light.
Good morning, Oregon FFA. My name is Nicholas Sheridan. I am from the Yamhill Carlton FFA chapter. As we step into our local neighborhood market, we are blasted with a whirlwind of bright, flashy, colorful labels that surround us up and down every aisle of a grocery store. Even back at the meat counter, it has become hard to decipher the code of modern labeling. However, what most consumers don't know is the trials and the tribulations of producers providing such products. Producers are continually faced with government policies that direct daily operations at today's modern feeding facilities and cattle ranches.
Hi, I'm Emily Pennington from the Bend chapter. Long, hot summer day. The chores are finished, and finally, the pipe is set, and the sound of the sprinklers fill the air. As the sun sets over the Cascades, the sky is filled with a vibrant pink that quickly fades into a starry night. The sound of the irrigation is overcome by the sound of cute little frogs croaking. While I sit outside with my family, my mind drifts off to the possibility of kissing one of those adorable frogs and it turning into my handsome prince. There's something soothing and relaxing about those sounds in the summer. Now, some might think that frogs are adorable, and many like to listen to them, or kiss them. But what if those cute little creatures, like the Oregon spotted frog, affected irrigation rights for Central Oregonians?
Good morning, my name is Amber Cripps from the Rogue River FFA chapter. There is a war happening closer to home than many people realize. This is not a typical war being fought with armed troops or military hardware. This is a war on agriculture. Farmers and ranchers that hold strongly to their land, their way of life, and their businesses are being threatened by governmental abuse of power, special interest groups' political agendas, and a population increasingly disconnected from agriculture. Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Andrew Gamerkin from the Eagle Point FFA chapter. If there's one thing I love in this world, it's steak, and I assume most of you love it too. I still have vivid memories of a mouth-watering porterhouse with those little button mushrooms smothered in steak sauce. Oh. Protein sources such as pork, chicken, or that mouth-watering steak come from livestock animals that we would call conventional. However, there is an alternative protein source gaining traction in the Western market: crickets.
My name is Aspen Berkmeyer from the Embler FFA chapter. You walk outside one summer day, hoping to see a beautiful, crisp, and clear blue sky. You look up, and instead, you see a hazy gray sky crisscrossed with milky white lines. You think that these lines are just exhaust trails from planes. But in reality, some of these lines are a result of covert government operations who say they're trying to reduce global warming. But is this really what they're trying to do? Or do they have something far more dark and sinister on their minds? What and why are they spraying? And how does it affect our modern agriculture?
Hi, I'm Janice Moore from the Malala FFA chapter. Stephanie Faye Bouclair, also known as Baby Faye, was born on October 14th with hypoplastic left heart syndrome. The left side of her heart was severely underdeveloped and virtually useless. Baby Faye, without a working heart, was given less than a week to live. More than 123,000 people in the United States are currently on the waiting list for a life-saving organ transplantation. Every 12 minutes, another name is added to the national transplantation list. That's 120 people every day, 840 people every week, and 43,800 people every single year. An average of 21 people die every single day from the lack of available organs for transplant. But this could all be changed by the use of xenotransplantation.
I'm Sunday Spielman from the Adrian FFA chapter. I believe in the ability of progressive agriculturalists to serve our own and the public interest in producing and marketing the products of our toil. This is a line taken from the third paragraph of the FFA Creed. In the last 60 years, beef cattle have doubled in size. Many crops have doubled or even tripled in yield, all to meet the world's needs. And we as agriculturalists decided we couldn't control the weather, so we created drought-resistant crops. These are just a few examples of our ability to produce. Where we lack in our industry these days is our ability to market and educate, and this is very limiting to our industry.
Let's give all our sophomore public speakers one more huge round of applause for all of their hard work. And now for the results. In fourth place, from Embler, Aspen Berkmeyer. In third place, from Rogue River, Amber Crisp. In second place, from Bend, Emily Pennington. And in first place, from Eagle Point, Andrew Gerkmeyer. Congratulations to all of you on your success. As they exit the stage, help me give our state sophomore public speakers one more round of applause. This just in. There's a disease spreading like wildfire across the United States, and its name is ignorance, more commonly known as the ignorance of agriculture. Luckily, these next chapters are working around the clock to squash this disease and spread the light of our industry. These chapters have each developed an ag literacy plan that they are implementing in their communities. Each chapter submitted a record of their plan and gave a 15-minute presentation to a selection committee. The Youth Ag Awareness Award is sponsored by Oregon Agriculture in the Classroom. Agriculture in the Classroom is a nonprofit and nationwide educational program designed to help students develop an awareness and understanding that agriculture is the source of our food, clothing, shelter, and other essentials. Let's give our sponsor, Oregon Ag in the Classroom, a huge round of applause. We have breaking news of firsthand account of ignorance. Why is this onion dirty? Because it grows in the ground. What? No, it doesn't. This is an actual conversation my teammate Bailey had with one of her friends. Good thing we have these members sharing our light in the agriculture industry. Here to present the award, we have Jessica Jansen from Oregon Agriculture in the Classroom. And now for the results of the Oregon Ag in the Classroom Ag Literacy Awards. In fourth place, we have the Wallowa FFA chapter. In third place, the Echo FFA chapter. In second place, the Jervis FFA chapter. And in first place, the Henley FFA chapter. As they exit the stage, please join me in congratulating the teams and thanking our sponsor, Oregon Ag in the Classroom, one last time. What exactly is light? It's the natural agent that stimulates sight and makes things visible, not dark. Seems simple, but these next members might tell you that light is the electromagnetic radiation to which the organs of sight react, ranging in wavelength from about 400 to 700 nanometers and propagated at a speed of about 186,282 miles per second, considered variously as a wave, corpuscular, or quantum phenomenon. If you're as confused by that statement as me, that's totally okay, because we have members in the Agroscience Fair that can probably explain it to you. Please join me in thanking our star sponsors, Geffen Mesher and Norpac Foods, and our state sponsor, Klamath Community College, for funding the Agriscience Fair this year at convention. Want to reduce your farm's carbon footprint? These next members may be able to help. They created projects around the management of soil, water, wildlife, forests, and air as natural resources and their influences on the environment. In the Environmental Services and Natural Resources Systems category, in first place for Division 2, open to individual members in grades 10th through 12th, from Grant Union, Jessica Carter. In first place for Division 4, which is open to 2-member teams in grades 10th through 12th, from Newburgh, John McCarthy and Todd Hallman. I can't tell you how many times we hear the question, what's a GMO? Ignorance strikes again. Yes, it's an abbreviation, but it's a topic that goes much, much deeper than that. Students in the plant systems category study plant life cycles, classifications, functions, reproduction, growth, and cultural practices. I'll be willing to bet they can help us answer questions like these. And now for the results of the plant systems category. In first place for Division 4, open to 2-member teams in grades 10th through 12th. From Burnt River, Valeria Ons and Laura Poja. In the social systems category, students study human behavior and their interactions in ag education, agribusiness, ag communication, ag leadership, and other social science applications in agriculture. People are complicated. I mean, we all have that one crazy ex that proves this theory. Or just think about how hard it is for guys and girls to understand each other. Now, these teams probably aren't going to publish the next copy of the Complete Idiot's Guide to Understanding Men and Women, but they are making some headway into some pretty important social aspects of agriculture. And now for the results of the social systems category. In first place, for Division 2, open to individual members in grades 10th through 12th, from Newburgh, Alyssa Berry. In first place, for Division 3, which is open to 2-member teams in grades 7th through 9th, from Newburgh, Lala Furkatich and Violet Elder. In first place, for Division 4, which is open to 2-member teams in grades 10th through 12th, from North Clackamas, Sarah Markham and Mackenzie Willie. As they exit the stage, please help me congratulate our winners and participants one more time. When it comes to food, what are most Americans worried about? Food safety. These next members are making leaps and bounds in the science behind healthy food. In the food products and processing systems category, students study food product development, quality assurance, food safety, production, and sales and services within the food science industry. In the food products and processing systems category, in first place for Division 2, open to individual members in grades 10th through 12th, from Grant Union, Haley Carter. We've talked about plants, we've talked about power, and we've talked about people. Now finally we get to talk about animals, which personally are my favorite. In the animal systems category, students study life processes, health, nutrition, genetics, management, and processing of small animals, aquaculture, livestock, dairy, horses, and poultry. And now for the results of the animal systems category. In first place for Division 1, which is open to individual members in grades 7th through 9th, from Cascade, Tara Brill. In first place for Division 4, open to 2-member teams in grades 10th through 12th, from Burnt River, Shay Swindlehurst and Frederick Grubin. As they exit the stage, please join me in thanking our sponsors, Geffen Mesher, Norpac Food, and Klamath Community College, and congratulating our participants one last time. We are very fortunate to have people who see the light in us sometimes before we even see it in ourselves. These next groups see the light in us as FFA members and want to provide the resources we need to let that light shine to its fullest potential. Please help me in thanking all of our scholarship sponsors. Our first scholarship presented this morning will be the Alpha Gamma Rho Fraternity Scholarship. AGR is the national agricultural fraternity with 72 chapters at public universities. More than just a social house, AGR is also a professional fraternity for young men pursuing a lifelong career. Members share similar backgrounds or career interests rooted in agriculture, food, fiber, or forestry. The AGR House here at Oregon State University awards this scholarship to a member that plans on majoring in an agricultural field and has taken part in the interview process here at convention. Please help me welcome Neil Luke to assist with the presentation of the Alpha Gamma Rho Fraternity Scholarship. Congratulations to Tyler Bales from Embler. Professor Gibson was strongly involved with young farmers and teachers, as well as students in agricultural education. The family of Professor Gibson initiated the H.H. Gibson Memorial Scholarship in 1960 to encourage students of vocational agriculture to further their training in agricultural curriculums of their choice. This scholarship is awarded to a member that has been active in agricultural education and will graduate in the top third of their class. Congratulations to Luis Mendoza from Malala and Shea Booster, who could not be here with us today. The Gilmore Scholarship was established in memory of Mr. Ray Gilmore. He was an agricultural instructor and advisor for many years, and this scholarship is awarded to individuals who are planning on majoring in agricultural education. Here to present the scholarship is Olivia Palacio of the Gilmore family. Congratulations to Bailey Myers from NISA. The Sandy FFA Alumni Scholarship is awarded to a member who has completed at least 2 years of agricultural education and must be intending to enroll in an agricultural major. Leadership and interest in agriculture, character, and academics were all taken into account during the interview process. Congratulations to Kelly Duggan from Redmond. The Oregon FFA Alumni Educational Scholarship is awarded to a member that has excelled in FFA and will continue to support and promote FFA after high school. They must be from an Oregon FFA chapter that has a current and paid active Oregon FFA alumni affiliate. Here to present the scholarship is Shauna McReynolds. Congratulations to Raymond Steele of the Joseph FFA chapter. The Thornton FFA Scholarship was established to encourage FFA members in the state of Oregon to pursue higher educational opportunities in agriculture with the ultimate goal of seeking a career in agriculture not limited to production agriculture, but to include agribusiness and veterinary medicine. The Thornton family hopes that this scholarship will encourage people to physically work towards their goals and to responsibly contribute to agriculture. Congratulations to Noah Typin from Henley FFA. The Oregon Fair Foundation offers this scholarship to provide incentive for further education and recognition for hard work and achievement in FFA and at county fairs. Recipients must plan to attend a vocational technical school, community college, or a 4-year college or university that will lead to vocational certificate, license, or a college degree beginning in the fall immediately following graduation from high school. They also must have participated in FFA activities at their county fair for 2 or more years. From Sandy, Rebecca Rutledge. From Joseph, Raymond Steele. From Redmond, Kelly Duggan. And from Embler, Haley Patterson. The Washington Leadership Conference is a 5-day event in Washington, D.C., where students learn their purpose, how to value people, to take action, and to serve others. They also have the opportunity to see some of our nation's most historic monuments and buildings and make friends and memories that will last them a lifetime. The Oregon FFA Alumni and Oregon FFA Foundation both see the conference as a value and sponsor scholarships to help students cover the costs. Congratulations to the following. From Oakland, Emily Nix. From Bend, Mariah Jarvis. From Cove, Emily Best. And from Crater, Jillian Worley. As they exit the stage, please help me congratulate the recipients for all of their hard works and aspirations in agriculture. Oregon FFA, help me give this year's scholarship recipients one more round of applause. To introduce our next speaker, please help me welcome Michael, Emma, and Grace Matteo to the podium.
The next speaker has had an incredible year serving in the Oregon FFA Association.
He has matured and grown in ways we honestly wouldn't have imagined. From the kid who had to be dragged along an entire hiking trip because he was convinced the cougar would eat him, to the confident, hardworking, and funny FFA member you've all gotten to know today.
As well as someone who has and continues to be a caring, inspiring, and encouraging brother.
We cannot say enough of how proud we are of you.
Now give it up for our brother and your 2015-2016 Oregon FFA State Secretary, Joseph Charles Matteo.
From the sea. Never leave you all alone. I can be the one you call when you're low. Brother, let me be your fortress when the night winds are driving home. Be the one to light the way, bring you home. Face down in the desert now. There's a cage locked around my heart. I found a way to drop the keys when my failures wouldn't have my hands can't reach that far. I ain't made for rivalry. I can never take the world alone. I know that in my weakness I am strong, but it's your love that brings me home.
Think back to the playgrounds of grade school. Yeah, those are some of the best days of our lives. Swinging, playing tag, and not having to worry about our GPAs, awkward encounters with the opposite gender, or what we would do after we graduated. However, we all had those few peers who would ruin our days, the bullies. Picture who that bully was for you. Are these bullies born with the fate of becoming a bully? Absolutely not. That would be like saying most high school dropouts are born with the fate of dropping out. Well, I was curious, so I did a little bit of research myself. And according to a study at Mississippi State University, students who have positive role models in their lives are at a decreased chance for dropping out. In a similar manner, these bullies don't have people in their lives to look out for them and guide them to choose between the right and the wrong. What happened in the playgrounds of grade school is being reflected in today's society. Look around this convention hall. Statistically, there are 60 people in here who have or will be physically abused by the time they turn 18. Not to mention the countless others who will be verbally and emotionally abused. While we hear about these numbers all the time, the numbers people never talk about are those for the ones who are abusing others. Because you see, somewhere along the way, the person who is supposed to be there for them, to guide them, to support them, to be their role model, wasn't. Now, I'm not victimizing the bully because there is no excuse for treating people like that. But what we have to wonder is if these bullies had positive role models in their lives, how many of these 60 lives would be changed? Would that number be lower? Or would it even exist at all? A role model or a mentor is someone who you can trust wholeheartedly to look out for the best for you in life. With this, you can push back the naysayers and live up to your full potential. There is no better example of this than Jesse Guerrero from the Jervis FFA chapter. Jesse is one of those students who is involved in tons of clubs, gets great grades, and serves as a role model for everyone who meets her. This year, she is the chapter president, a reading tutor for 6th graders, all while finding time to volunteer in her community and maintain a 4.0 GPA. Oh, I forgot to mention, Jessie also works a full-time job. Yeah, Jessie! Jessie's work ethic, drive, and passion to serve others are things we should all look for in a role model. We can all agree that Jessie has taken a stand against the stereotype of lazy teenagers in today's society. However, Jessie made it very clear that all of her accomplishments would not have been possible if it wasn't for her mentor and role model, Miss Carrie Hoffman, the Jervis FFA advisor. No matter how driven we are, we all need role models to keep us going. Role models come in many different shapes and sizes. They don't just have to be a teacher, parent, or someone else who is older than us. During high school, I found a role model in a place most people would have never expected. Most of us are afraid of failure. But for Patrick, it was about being a part of the bigger picture. It was a big soccer scrimmage, and the Bulldogs were down 1-0. There were 10 seconds left, and Patrick rushed down the muddy terrain to receive a pass. As he did, he dribbled in for a closer shot, and with 1 second left, he made eye contact with the goalie, both of them knowing what happened next would decide the game. As Patrick pulled his right foot back to make what would be the game-saving shot, his left foot slipped, he stumbled, and fell to the ground. As the ref blew the final whistle, signaling a gut-wrenching loss for the Bulldogs. However, what Patrick and his teammates did next was shocking. Before Patrick had even picked himself all the way up off the ground, most of both teams had rushed over to him and either give him a giant hug or a high five. Patrick himself was smiling and seemed to be very excited. This was my experience while volunteering with the Special Olympics soccer team at my school last year. You see, for people like Patrick, taking a shot at the goal was just as exciting as scoring a goal itself. And failing, that wasn't intimidating because he was just having fun. Patrick took a stand by finding joy in the small things. We can take a stand by emulating those same traits in the people we call our role models. Choosing to emulate those traits won't always be easy, especially in today's society. One of my best friends, and someone who was like an older brother to me, took a stand against some pretty tough societal norms he grew up in. Robert grew up in Northeast Portland, where as a young kid, he lost multiple family members to gang violence. Most of his family was involved in crime. And by the time he was 20, he had barely managed to graduate high school with a 1.7 GPA and lost both of his parents. Robert, in most people's eyes, was headed nowhere. Playing pickup basketball, Robert managed to get a scholarship to go to Umpqua Community College in Roseburg. My dad happened to be one of his math teachers at the time, and it wasn't long before they developed a pretty cool relationship. When Robert first transitioned to Roseburg, basketball was his focus. However, it wasn't long after his transition that he realized this was an opportunity to restart his education. And after graduating UCC with a 3.88 GPA, becoming the first person in his family to receive any sort of college degree, Robert went on to the U of O to receive a law degree. Robert's story of success, okay, maybe not the U of O part, has shown all of us that if we take a stand, we can go places no one would have ever thought we could. His perseverance, determination, and self-sufficiency is something I admire and has made me very thankful to have met him. This has made him a mentor in my life. However, what Robert's story makes me question is, why can't we all break through the societal norms that hold us back from going farther than we could ever imagine? Because, you see, if Robert had never decided to make that change for himself, instead of sitting right there in LaSalle's with us today, there's a really good chance that he'd either be in jail or dead. No one can simply turn the life around without guidance. Robert credits his turnaround to his mom for teaching him to never succumb to superficial pressures. Dave Frohmeyer, who demonstrated leadership in every sense for him. And Jesus Christ, who taught him selflessness and sacrifice. After looking at Robert's story, no matter the background or situation we come from, we cannot let petty excuses hold us back from holding ourselves to a higher standard and becoming role models for the next generation. We are the next athletes, parents, and politicians of the world. It is up to us to set a trend for the upcoming era. So when you are faced with a decision between the most ethical one and the one with more personal satisfaction, like Robert was, which will you choose? When you feel like you just have too dang much on your plate and you cannot go any farther, will you remember Jesse? Will you find the small little things during your day to ruin it? Or will you find joy in the simple things like Patrick? The habits and decisions we form today will be with us for the rest of our lives, and at some point, someone will follow us. Will you let your decisions turn your children into tomorrow's bullies? Can we just sit here and watch while there are at least 60 among us who are being hurt physically, not to mention the countless others who are being verbally and emotionally abused? Society may try and lead you astray. It may say you aren't right, you aren't good enough, or you just don't have the right things to say. But these are all lies. We don't need to be popular. We don't need to be a celebrity. We don't need to hold the title of some fancy position. We don't need to be a brother or a sister. We need difference makers who will take a stand for what is right. We need each and every blue jacket. Oregon FFA, we are the trendsetters of the next era. It is time we take a stand together and show this upcoming generation what it means to try something new and do the right thing. Oregon FFA, it's time to take a stand.
Won't you stand up, stand up, stand up. Won't you stand up and use your voice? Won't you stand up, stand up, stand up? Won't you stand up, you girls and boys?
Joe, grow, serve.
This past year, Joe has impacted the lives of many individuals through his positiveness, confidence in himself and others, and most of his passion for the FFA. I first met Joe at our district leadership camp this last year. I can honestly say that I have never met anyone that has impacted my life in such a short amount of time. I am positive I am not the only one that he has impacted. Joe is the definition of a positive leader. For example, he is always encouraging me to never give up and for me to continue trying new things. Thank you for your year of service. I cannot wait to see what the future holds for you.
Joe, there's a poem that reminds me of you. I'd rather be a could be if I could not be an are, because a could be is a maybe with a chance of going far. I'd rather be a has been than a might have been by far, because a might have been never has been, but a has been was and are. And Joe, you are an are. This past year as a state officer, you have instilled within every member a courage to develop our skills and maximize our potential. You have been able to captivate large groups in an effective and organized manner, and you have been able to simultaneously create and maintain long-lasting friendships. Thank you, Joe Matteo, for sharing your time, courage, talents, and friendships as you have truly illuminated this year's Oregon FFA experience.
Joe, grow, serve, illuminate, and love always. Ricky, Luis, Bailey, Alyssa, and Addie. Oregon FFA, your 2015-2016 State Secretary, Mr. Joe Matteo.
Won't you stand up, stand up, stand
Before we can ever let our own light shine, there has to be an initial spark. For us, our spark for FFA started way back our freshman year when our advisors saw something within us that helped us develop it into the light you see here today. Thank you for being like second parents and always believing in us. We could not be where we are without you. Please join me in welcoming our state advisors to the stage.
Oregon FFA, I am pleased to introduce to you my advisors, Mackenzie Burrell and Danelle Blair.
Oregon FFA, I am pleased to present to you my advisor, Mr. Rick Martin.
Oregon FFA, it is my pleasure to present to you one of my role models, my advisor, Mr. Crawford.
Oregon FFA, it is my honor to introduce to you my advisor, Mr. Braden Groth.
Oregon FFA, it is my honor to introduce you to my student teacher, Mr. Brennan Kelly.
Oregon FFA, I am honored to introduce to you my advisor, Mr. Chad Cruikshank. Awesome.
FFA, help me in thanking our advisors and all the advisors here at Convention.
What do I love about my job? Well, when I first started teaching, it was teaching students the skills and the different aspects of agriculture so that they can go off and be productive and do great things. You know, seeing that student for the first time, you know, grasp a concept or learn a mathematical skill in the shop that they couldn't learn in a math class is very rewarding.
The neat thing about teaching ag is that no day is ever really the same. You get the opportunity to teach kids not only about production agriculture, the basis of our society, your food, fiber, and your fuels, but you also give kids those skills, or students those skills, that they can go out into the real world to be productive citizens, whether that is an ag path or not. Either way, they have those leadership, they have their growth plan, they have goals, they understand what it takes to be successful in life. And ultimately, that's the most rewarding part of the job, is seeing students come in, whether that's a freshman or 8th grade year, and grow into those individuals that can truly be successful in whatever field, career field that they choose to pursue.
You know, I think we have programs where we get to be so passionate about what we teach. You know, I love animal science, and so when I get to share my love of a certain topic with a kid, you know, it's so much fun. And then if you can just kind of share that passion, then it just kind of gets moved on to the next student, and then they get to share it. You know, it's just really exciting to see that kind of get passed on to that next student.
Every day is different, encouraging students to strive for more than just the typical career or their typical goals in life. They actually get to pick their careers after they go through my program in FFA and decide on, you know, well, this was really cool. Now I think I want to go into something, you know, within meats or ag communications.
If you want to make a difference in your community, make lifelong connections and friendships, and feel like you're serving the greater purpose and greater need of your country, your county, your town, then teach ag. Ag teachers make an impact with students on a daily basis. Some of my best friends that I have in my life are other ag teachers, and it's a place that'll foster development, growth, and change in your life as a person, and in doing so, make an impact for a larger purpose.
I teach agriculture because every single day is different, whether that be the content that I'm teaching, the type of student that I'm teaching, or the location that I'm teaching at. Every single day is a surprise. And another thing that I love about teaching ag is all of the opportunities that I get as well as my students get to travel and make connections all across the country.
Most recently, it's been seeing my students I had almost 20 years ago that are now established, with their families, with their careers, and being very successful all over the United States. And that, to me, has been my most recent reward.
We are blessed to have some of the best advisors in the country right here in Oregon. This morning, we have the opportunity to recognize the Oregon Ag Teachers Association officers, advisors who have gone above and beyond and introduced the next generation of Oregon Ag teachers. We've all heard the saying, it's an honor to be an officer in the FFA. Well, it's also an honor to be an officer in the Oregon Ag Teachers Association. I am pleased to present with you the current officers of the Oregon Ag Teachers Association. Serving as president is Chrisman Kosman, advisor at Crater. Serving as president-elect is Rachel Kosman, advisor at Oakland. Serving as secretary and treasurer is Megan Biggs, advisor at Henley. And not able to be with us this morning, but serving as newsletter editor is Lance Hill, advisor at Redmond. The Oregon Ag Teachers Association maintains an extensive award program to recognize the accomplishments of our many talented and dedicated advisors. They have awards for agriculture educators in every stage of their careers, from scholarships to lifetime achievement. Each of the ag teachers you see coming on stage will also have the opportunity to represent Oregon at the regional and, fingers crossed, nationals level in their respective categories. The outstanding secondary teacher is from Eagle Point High School, advisor Mr. Keith Frost. The outstanding young member is Miss Allison Meadows, advisor at Sherwood High School. The outstanding middle school and secondary program is Hepner FFA chapter, their advisor, Miss Beth Dickinson. The Ideas Unlimited Award goes to Miss Stephanie Schofield, the advisor at Enterprise High School. And last, but certainly not least, the Agriscience Teacher of the Year, as well as Teacher Mentor, is Miss Leah Smith of the Hermiston FFA chapter. Also receiving their Oregon FFA Honorary State degrees is Miss Trisha Smith, advisor at Sandy High School, and Miss Patty Abell, advisor at Canby High School. As they exit the stage, please help me give a huge round of applause for the Oregon Ag Teachers Association officers and the 2015-2016 Oregon NAAE Award recipients. Coming on stage next are some pretty important people. These are members of our ag teacher cohort right here at Oregon State. They are the future teachers that will lead our organization. Let's meet them. Jamie Brentano is from St. Paul and student teaching at Crater High School in Central Point. Riley Jensen is from Pilot Rock and student teaching at Henley High School. Joey Meyer is from Tillamook and is student teaching at Dayton High School. Ellie Vanderzanden is from Corvallis and is student teaching at Cascade High School. Rianne Towery is from Silverton and is student teaching at Sherwood High School. Kelsey White is from North Powder and is student teaching at Hepner High School. Sharon Stowe is from Ontario and is student teaching at Adrian High School. Kylie Hashizaki is from Maui, Hawaii and is student teaching at North Clackamas. We also have a Colorado State student, Bailey Field, from Canby, who is teaching at Crater. We also have Katie Wood from Hood River Valley. As they exit the stage, let's give our future ag teachers a huge round of applause. Would all of the advisors in the session hall please stand? As FFA members, we could not do what we do without each and every one of you. Thank you so much for your passion and dedication to your job and this organization. Oregon FFA, help me thank our advisors with a thunderous round of applause. We definitely let our light shine right here on this stage tonight. We found out the results of our sophomore public speaking, Agriscience Fair, and Ag Literacy Awards. We've recognized several students receiving scholarships acknowledging their hard work and undying dedication. We met the wonderful people who make up our State Alumni Council who have a burning passion for our success. We were inspired to take a stand by our State Secretary, Joe Matteo, as he delivered his retiring address. Lastly, we recognize our advisors who work tirelessly to ignite the spark they see in each and every one of us. None of this would have been possible without our session sponsors, Ag West, Goshi Farms, and Wilco. I definitely say we found our spark this session, but be right back here for session 5, where we will finally see the light and truly do the impossible. We'll find out the results of our extemporaneous public speaking, Parley Pro, and co-op quiz career development events. We'll recognize our state proficiency winners, meet our top 10 state officer candidates, and hear from our very own state treasurer, Alyssa Smith, as she delivers her retiring address entitled React. Don't miss out on any of the excitement. We all have something inside of us that started as just a spark. But now that light has grown into something that is begging to be set free, begging for us to let it be seen. We all know that the light of the hottest flame always shines blue. So regardless of the negativity around you, put aside self-doubt and let your light shine.
I'm going hard.